Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Conner. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Back to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, look at that. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The numbers there for Connery in last week's game. 18 carries, 91 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they got to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
They'll set up a throw, and that's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On second down, here's Mixon. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let him outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll look to throw here. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. D. Ford with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's Connor. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Connor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it breaks. Up a 3rd and 10.
Okay, let's go now. Ready.
On 3rd down, Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 in excellent field position here. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big...
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. And he knocks it through.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain of 31 on third down.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Tim Williams makes the tackle. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the Bengals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
He'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now Joe Mixon. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now back to throw. And incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
And the Bengals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. A handoff to Mixon. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Well, let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The First down throw for Winston. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Ready? Move it. Push that up. Push that up.
Throwing again. Winston on second and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. So we've reached halftime with just the lone. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
He'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him a full 10 yards there, 2nd and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
A second down throw for Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Winston now to throw on first down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for long.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the left side here for Eifert. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him the first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. Down to about the 22 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. They'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense and reading your key.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Bengals add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Winston now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Ready? Blue Whitey. Set.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Jameis to throw it. It finds Crabtree for the completion. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
All that practice time. Came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch it now, Barney!
Looking to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Patriot!
They run for it with Mixon. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
Brutal. ball, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on fourth down. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Geno Atkins able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
We certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Ready? Move ready. Where we go? Where's that up?
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ross on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, and you have to get the ball back. Everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands. Whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready! Black, what is that?
On 1st and 10, Winston. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. 51 yards on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Check.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Bengals, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.